on, fam.
We gonna talk. This is the shit I want to talk about right here.
I'm rich in real life.
Got so many motherfuckers hating on me.
Cause I'm rich in real life.
My money never run out.
Billy.
Cause I'm rich in real life.
This ain't no come up.
Cause I'm rich in real
I
life.
know.
City to city.
Yeah, I don't know. Billy got so many motherfuckers hating on me.
Cause I'm rich in real life.
You know what I mean? We gonna talk about that.
Rich in real life.
We got a little female, you got a little female on this
Rich in
shit.
real life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We ain't here the Rich and Real Life show, you know what I mean? I got some boys with me.
I'm rich in
I mean,
real
some
life.
legends.
Got so many
my
motherfuckers
friends,
hating on
you
me.
know what I mean? Billy, who we got?
We finally back. What's good? We got two ghosts over here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Man, Game Guy Goldie, the one and only. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Welcome. And then we got another legend, musical icon.
Man, dope boy Troy Ave. That's it. God was getting the paper straight.
Great. So, Chef, how this relationship start? The friendship, like.
Yo, it's crazy. I think I met both of them on some, I guess some people would say fan, right? But to me, I say respect. It's a respectable thing. And it's just like, it's weird because like, as a man, if you like admire somebody, they be like, oh, you being a fan, you being a groupie. But you know, like I listen to you every day. You know what I mean? I see what you're going through. Like even to this day, like my favorite rapper was always Troy Ave. I'm like, man, I was a big Troy Ave fan, right? And he was coming to San Diego. And the girl I was with at the time, you know, her brother's like, yeah, Troy Ave. I'm like, Troy Ave? I'm talking about I listen to them every day, all day. And they be like, what? Got me some tickets to the concert. It's crazy because I wasn't going to go because me and her got into it. Like, I don't want to use your tickets, man. F that. Like, you know, I'm in the, you know what I mean? And she's like, yo, here, I got them anyway. She got me the little meet and greet and all that. I'm like, man, all right, F it. I went with her brother at the time. And, you know, I went. And I was like, man, look, your music is dope. You know, we from the same neighborhood. We chopped it up a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then his road manager at the time took my info, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna hit you up. I got a restaurant out there. But it was weird. So the weird part was, they said, yo, I wanna, you know, the next day they said, yo, you got food, blah, blah, blah. You know, we want to try some of your food out. And I'm like busy, I'm like, hold up, man, I ain't no groupie. I ain't go take food down to them, and because of who they are, I'm gonna just rush and get food to them and make sure they're good. And then they hit me up like 2 or 3 times later, like a couple of days. I'm like, you know what? I thought about it more. There's other clients in the corporate world. If they came in town, I'll take care of them. They're like, yo, I'm in town. It's like, yo, you know what? I'll send a worker over there, send some food, make sure they're good. But my ego behind me was like, man, don't do too much because of who he is. So I said, you know what? F all that. Let me just do who I am. Got some food. I delivered it myself, and we started chopping it from there. And it was kind of, I'm happy I did that because I was questioning myself, was I being fanned out by doing what I want to do because of who that person was?
Right.
But then, like, you know, I had a birthday, and his album came out, was a White Christmas. Like, I forgot which White Christmas it was, but it was just so hard. I was like, man, what if I got him booked and do my birthday party? Like, I think it's 2019, my first time I did a party at Flux.
Oh, damn.
And,
that was a movie, yeah.
And that was movie. So I orchestrated. I talked to Charles and all of them. I was cool with them. I said, man, how we can make this work? And then we went to Vegas before that, and man, we just been like friends ever since.
Okay, question for Troy though.
The food was trash, by the way.
Hey,
Food was
hey,
trash.
look,
He said it was Jamaican food, Will. So just the context into the story,
Yeah.
you can't really find good Jamaican food around. We out saying ain't like I'm in New York, Brooklyn. Our Jamaican food like pizza store, you find it everywhere.
it's Mexican.
So he say, yeah, good Jamaican food. I'm like, hell yeah, what's up? So I keep telling my man Block, yo, Block, I want that Jamaican food, nigga. Cause we on Google looking for shit. Can't find Dominican restaurants or good Jamaican food at the time. So then Chef finally pulled up with Jamaican food and shit was just alright. You know what I mean? Now his moms make real Jamaican food. He make Jamaican food more so for like white people on vacation that don't really know what the flavor's supposed to be like. You know what I
Chef
mean?
can't cook. That's crazy.
That was no, hold
He's a chef,
up.
not a cook.
Hold up. I wasn't cooking. My employees cooked it. I ain't cooking. It been my employees cooking. I just put my name on it.
Oh,
You
man,
dig?
that was nuts.
Hey.
What ethnicity was your employees that cooked that?
I think Mexican.
Yeah, that was wild.
I gave the recipe.
Yeah, that wasn't it.
Food is crazy.
But he good to say he don't own a Jamaican restaurant anymore. So,
Oh man.
and now we know why.
It wasn't a
Don't
Jamaican
work out.
restaurant. It was a world class cuisine. We had Jamaican items in the meal.
See, that was the problem. If I'd have known that, I'd have never.
Hey, look, we went right here. Hey, we went right here. I sold myself. You got to think about it. I sold myself. Hey, I got some food.
You don't go to a Chinese restaurant looking for pizza.
Yeah,
You
right.
said world-class cuisine. You gotta
man,
be specific.
Try some new stuff. You know what I mean?
So yeah, going back to the question, Troy, being at that status, you know, like that new saying, like no new friends. How did you accept Chef? Because like, you know, being at that status, there's sometimes you don't know who you can trust.
Yeah, I don't really be like, I ain't like a truster of
Right.
people just in general, but like that should come from just me being in the streets. I'm always gonna meet new people and then just fill out their energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I used to meet fucking fiends, crackheads and shit, and had to kick it with them. You know what I'm saying? So 9 times out of 10, they out to do you worse than somebody else. So, you know, as long as you secure and protected, pose, you could go from there. It ain't like niggas pulled up, met them at the spot, the house and some shit. Like, you know, we at our hotel downtown, probably had some home security. But, you know, you could just kick it with people socially and you could kind of like feel people energy and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then that was it. Go from there. It's like, yeah, that's really it.
Nah, for sure. And then going to Goldie, how'd y'all meet?
Yeah,
Shit, was that Fashion Week?
yeah. Fashion Week. So I went out there
In New York?
in New York. It was crazy because I used to watch his clips. To me, it was motivational. You know what I mean? The clips about relationship clips. You know, just saying what you should do, what you should not do. I posted them a couple of times, and for following them, I was following for a couple of months. You know what I mean? That's before the bigger stuff went viral. And I just remember I was in line, everybody in the club, and I went to Fashion Week with YG and them. So I was with YG manager B More. We went to do our own thing while they went to some other club. So me and B More just slid off. And then I seen him. He was waiting in line, about to get in. I'm like, oh, ain't you that? Yo, what's up, man? Nice to meet you.
I was actually finna leave because
You about to leave?
the table shit. I was like, I don't know. I'm with my chick. I'm like,
Yeah,
and then he
it
was,
was-
like, yo, what's up? He was like, yo, you slide in with me. I'm like, bet. You,
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you said you seen me on Kellen shit.
Yeah, I see Kelly. Yeah, we knew the same
Yeah.
people. Yeah, we knew a lot of the same people
We knew all
because
the same people.
every time I see him, like, yo, how you around all the people I'm cool with? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay.
But we end up going and being in the same section up. You know, actually, you went to the section. You got us that section first. I was supposed to be with Ice Spice section.
Yeah.
Something that happened with the label, and there was no space over there. So we end up I end up at your table.
Yeah.
And I was like, you cool? Like, how much you need from that? You don't need no money in the bottle here, man. Drink whatever you want. We just start chopping it. Then we had a strip club that night, but they were just locked in. So it was kind of cool.
Then
So
we
like,
went to Say Less. And
yeah, the next day. So it was almost some fan, you know, you could say, I don't know if I'm almost some fan stuff, but I'm like, or respectable. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to ask. Like, it'd be weird because when you do certain things, some people like, yo, you being a fan, what's the difference between being fanned out with somebody or just showing respect? 'Cause I think everybody, go ahead.
Now, let go the answer.
man, I mean, shit, I feel like it'd be a difference because it's like you respecting what somebody talking about, you on the same page. That's different than being fanned out where you just, you know, it ain't got nothing to do with character, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's just a persona that you like versus the things they talking about that you like. You feel me?
Yeah, I think it's all about how you go about it too. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes, I'm from Brooklyn, so normally, well, now the fucking world is upside down, so just be acting different. But I know we grew up to be too cool for school. You feel me? So like, I'm a big fan of Michael Jordan and shit. And I was at the BET Awards one year. R.P. Butch Lewis. He had us with seats with Michael Jordan is right behind us. Michael Jordan, Butch Lewis, and probably Denzel, whatever. And I'm with my man, and I'm like, nigga, that's Michael Jordan right there. He got this nigga sneakers on and shit. But so nigga Butch is like, man, you want to take a picture? Like, nah, we ain't taking no picture, man. Just being too cool about it. But like, we was really on some fan shit. But I think it's the people that you approach. If like me, I don't never look at people like Dick Riding unless it's like somebody they'll get hype over other people be taking a picture and they be like, can I get a picture? And he be like, sure, come on. He be like, oh my God, what's your song? I don't know who you are. Oh, you's a Dick Rider.
Yeah,
You just,
yeah.
you just see other people and you just wanted to latch on to that. You know what I mean? But if somebody really fuck with your shit, your energy shit that you putting out, and nigga, they letting you know, like, yeah, I'll fuck with you. Like, I feel like real shit gonna attract all kind of people, but Like you could tell who genuinely fuck with you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that be like, man, when you putting something new out? Like, nigga, you ain't a real fan because my fans know I just dropped this or I just came home from jail or whatever. You know what I mean? Some niggas just hype off a clip or a moment.
Hell yeah.
So that be the difference. You can't let everybody in. So,
Welcome back though, too, fam.
yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
A little vacation.
How is it, brother?
Well, my freedom,
Yeah.
shit good, man. Shit priceless. It feel good. I feel rejuvenated. You feel me? And lost weight and shit. The ill shit is I saved a lot of money being in jail. So
Ain't gotta spend no money, yeah.
real shit.
Nobody told me about that. That's real. That's real life.
So I've been bowling. I said I'm a bowl 4 days for every 1 day I had to sit down. So I just been on vacation ever since. I ain't stopped.
He came out going crazy. I'm like, man, where you get all this money from? Body's riches.
Yeah.
I said, man, look, I didn't know what I was doing. I was tucking away but I'm free now. We outside.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and then before I went in, I was like I always been saving money and being frugal and being smart about bread, but just not knowing how long I'm gonna go away to jail or if I'm gonna have to go. I had to spend mad years of my life being extra careful about shit. So every time I'm about to buy a fucking exotic foreign and some shit, yo, let me just buy another property. Every time I'm about to go buy some extra jewelry, fuck that, let me put it down on property. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the safe
Ooh,
bet.
he's giving gems right now, y'all. Y'all better listen up.
Yeah, that's a fact. I did that shit mad times before I bought any car. Or I buy like a lesser, let me just get this Maserati and then go get a 2-family crib instead of going to get, you know what I'm saying? Shit I want. And then, but then once I did that so many times, it's like, man, fuck that. Like, how many cribs I'm gonna buy? I mean, I know mad people buy fucking hundreds, but that ain't my style. I'd be bored about that shit. But once I finally got all my shit together, I'm like, all right, now I could ball and live life how I want to live, because I don't gotta worry about.
I think you know what got me close to Paul, like how got me relationship bonded more with Troy and even Goldie. Some getting money, motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? It's a hustle. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Troy been getting that money. Like, music is like, that money just could come, but I'm getting money here, you know what I mean? And we go crazy. And then Goldie, he put me on this. I'm on my winning in Miami. He pulled up his money in his sleep making. He said, look, you see this? You know what I mean? He had no screenshot and like that. He pulled it up. He said, it's digital money right here.
Yeah,
You gonna get in my world? I'm like, yo, hey. Look, I would have got a studio. I'm like, look, hold up, man. Look, put me on. I'm already getting money, but like the enjoyment of it and seeing it and how somebody else getting it, I'm like, it's dope.
Yeah.
What made you get into that, like the digital platform?
Man, that shit kind of fell in my lap. I was trying to make my transition in life. I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do to get some money. I was fighting a case, and I was like, I didn't know how that shit was gonna go, so I had to figure something else out. Started doing some fitness shit, you know what I'm saying? And then I met this dude. He had like a compound down here in San Diego. I came to his house, big fat compound, ponds,
Watson, right?
$1 million worth of cars and shit like that. He said he doing this shit off of content. I said, oh, for real? I said, all right, bet. And that was it. And that was it. And I was like, bet, I'm going to commit 365 days of posting on this gram. Yeah. And that shit just ended up taking off. And from there, learned about the digital products. And that shit, man, I'm like, man, that shit the best thing I ever did in my life.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because when you do.
You already said I'm going to commit 365 days.
See, hey, that was a key. Because
man,
when I first started, with nobody liking my shit.
On me. That was hard. I'm committing.
Nobody was liking my shit. My bitches would like my shit. They family members like my shit. But I committed. I said I'm gonna do 365 days. I make a commitment.
How many a day?
3 a day for 365 days. And that shit was doing nothing for like 7-8 months. And then one video, then the next video, and then that shit.
Went crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Man,
Consistency is key.
Yeah. It's crazy how. Yeah. When we always say that, man, you go consistent. So when I started doing the digital thing, Troy was like, man, you ain't gonna stick to it. You already making money. I don't see, like, why you gonna step into this? All right. And then hey, 2 months later, I'm like, 2 months later, I said, look, I'm still doing it, right? So he's like, okay.
We'll see.
He said, because,
We'll see. This nigga shut me on to the next.
He's inconsistent with this for sure. You see a new video every morning.
Yeah, he be on it though. Listen, everybody should be making a personal brand. Like in the future, like you could be doing something, like have a business, but if you want to do something else, man, you got to start from the bottom. When you got a personal brand, I can do anything. I can sell anything because I'm making myself a personal brand. Everybody should be making themselves a personal brand in some type of way right now.
Hell yeah. You know what was crazy that come with this lot of stuff? When you making that money, you step into another world with females and stuff, right? I'm not gonna lie, like Troy, people don't know, but he's the one who put me in a position, not financially. Like when he first seen me, I had a Movado watch. He said, "Dude, you getting too much money. Go get a Rolex."
Yeah, that's what
Right?
he told you.
And so he's like, "Get a Rolex."
Niggas gonna look at you crazy and not say nothing.
He said, "Yo," and then he was like, "Yo, what you wearing, man? You gotta." I never believed in designer clothes. I'm like, man, he's like, "Look, what you know, it don't cost that much." And he just showed me some things and like, and later on, I started getting. I was like, man, this is a 36. I need a 41. Now I even realized I got a Rolex just to get one, and now I understand what the watches are. They got a chain, and I realized my chain was too thin.
So he put you on this whole fly shit.
The whole, I can't. Yeah, he did.
The formula.
Damn,
So
that's big.
But besides that, he brought me all these rooms I didn't have access to at first, and then he showed me how to move. Like, I'm like, yo, that's. I don't care. They don't say nothing, man. Just say what up, and that's it, right? And I didn't understand it at first. It took me a while. But I'm cool coming to a position where people know who I am now. So when people, but he brought me to those places and brought me backstage and seen all these people and introduced me. But it's what I do with the introduction. You know what I mean? So it's like he actually is behind a lot of things. And Chef's one of the most popping clubs in Diego. He wasn't investing up like that, but he sees like, yo, you got this extra space in this basement. Like, what are you doing with it? I'm like, oh, they said, look, he gave me one of his dope. I get so much credit for it, but he did it. He's like, yo, turn that to a studio right here. I'm like, a studio?
The
Trust me.
studio downstairs.
Yeah,
in Chef's.
the infamous studio. So he was like, dude, trust me.
The studio.
That was dope. We had this whole studio under the club. He said, look, any artist gonna want to flex and record with their females right there. I dropped the whole album with known artists with free features from the studio.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people would come through. The studio wasn't ready yet, and Neil was ready to perform. And then Neil was like, yo, I'm trying to record, but he lit. I'm like, man, he ain't ready yet. So, but we finally got in. Every time you come there, we have engineer ready, and then just go ahead and just start recording, get a free verse out of them.
Damn.
And it was cool, but it's like, everybody's like, man, this is dope, a studio in a club.
Yeah, that shit's fire.
Yeah,
man,
but you know what else came with this thing too? And I had to learn all the time, man, these females, right? And I didn't understand this stuff. I remember I was in a relationship, and he was like, dude, you get too much money for that girl to talk to you like that. Oh, he had a heart to heart. He had a heart to heart with me.
Hey, for real.
Right? No, he had a heart to heart. It's like, look, he brought his whole family down to there. I'm like, he really fuck with me. He brought his whole family on vacation. And it's like, yo, I ain't coming to your crib no more. And you're sure you mess with her. She should have access to me. Like, yo, you make too much money for that girl and to be even talking like that. You got two things. You can run the house or run around the house.
That's a fact.
So I started thinking about that. They say, yo, do any of her friends take selfies in front of your house and stuff like that? When you see a girl start taking selfies and taking pictures in front of what you got, they ain't used to that.
Yeah.
It's not what's a fan. So he started telling, put me on this stuff, but I started making money. But like as I grow, the money started making. I'm still messing with girls in this certain level because I came from the hood. I'm used to certain type of women, and then he just like, yo, tighten up. And I started seeing these things, and like,
there's nothing wrong with still messing with girls that you can still boss a bitch up, but if they not appreciating that, you feel me? It's like giving an employee a raise, and then they still. You ain't working harder doing, whoa, hold up, Ice Cream Chuck. Yeah. Don't get you the fuck out of here. You gotta appreciate this. This is different shit going on. Don't act like it's normal.
Yeah. Hey, that's what they do. They come try to act like they don't see it, so you don't know
That's
that you can get other options,
Yeah, don't try to downplay. That's a form of hate. You try to downplay my shit like I'm not doing something special. You know what I'm saying? When you get in your ex car, you ain't trying to take pictures of the headrest. Right. All right. So this shit is different. You gonna suck a nigga dick different. You gonna cook different.
Yep.
You gonna go clean up when you. I don't care if you see some other bitches shit. Don't say nothing if it's extra hair around from another bitch. Because this is different. It's different on every aspect. The vacations is different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The gifts is different that you getting. So you're not gonna treat me the way you would talk to treat another nigga because I'm not him. You feel me?
Yeah.
When you go in that fly restaurant, they say put a suit jacket on. Motherfucker, this is different.